July 17th. Happy Wrong Way Day. If you've heard of Douglas Corrigan, you probably know the joke. He filed a flight plan from New York to California. A little while later, on this date in 1938, he landed in Ireland. Reporters asked him what on earth happened. "Wrong turn," explained Corrigan. "Wrong turn?" "Yes. There were clouds, you see. No visibility, compass suddenly going haywire. Thought I got it figured out, but then, next thing I know, here's Ireland, of all places." It was a wonderful story. Off course is one thing. Off course by nearly 180 degrees? That's a legend. Everyone laughed. Corrigan remained for the rest of his life. Wrong Way Corrigan. Today, that's the punchline. But in 1938, it was a totally different joke. No one believed Corrigan's story, but everyone loved him for sticking to it. Everyone knew Douglas Corrigan had spent years asking permission to fly across the Atlantic. Again and again, the answer was no. His airplane was antiquated. The authorities said it wasn't safe. And they weren't wrong. But there comes a point when a story stops being about airplanes and starts being about people, because sometimes no is the right answer. Sometimes the rules are there for good reasons. Sometimes dreams need to be abandoned. But there are dreams, the stubborn ones, the ones that transcend practicality, transcend even risk. Dreams that won't leave you despite every argument you throw at them. And at some point, the question changes. It stops being, "Why should I do this?" and becomes, "Why won't this leave me alone?" Douglas Corrigan knew dreams, and he also knew airplanes. He had worked on Charles Lindbergh's Spirit of St. Louis and helped launch the Lucky Lindy legend. He'd continued for years to study airplanes. He rebuilt airplanes. He flew airplanes. And year after year, he asked permission to make the crossing himself. The answer was always no. The airplane was too old. The equipment was too limited. The risks were too great. Fair objections, all of them. And one July morning, Corrigan climbed into his aging airplane, took off for California, and somehow ended up in Ireland. No one thought his story was plausible, and no one thought that was the point. The point was, a man had followed a dream farther than anyone thought he should, and for the rest of his life, he stuck to his story whenever he was asked. "Come on, you can fess up. You knew exactly what you were doing." "Nope. Wrong turn." Priceless. Today, we celebrate Wrong Way Day by, well, that's the hard part, isn't it? Follow that dream, no matter what anyone says. That would be fun and easy to say. And it would be reckless. You know that. Most rules are there for a reason. High-risk dreams. You're usually better off letting them go. Usually, but not always. And there isn't any blanket rule to make every such decision simple. Is there a dream in your life that has survived every reasonable objection? Something that still calls your name despite the years, despite all the reasons why you shouldn't? What are you going to do about it? Because there's a place for all of us where our feet can no longer touch the bottom. It's risky out there. It can be foolish to go out there. But out there is also where dreams happen. Do we trust our self-preservation instincts, or do we trust the dream? This was so easy when we were kids. You follow the dream. Always. Of course you do. And then we grew up and we learned about real risks and real costs. There isn't a one-size-fits-all cases answer. The decision really does have to be yours. Sometimes following the dream is the wrong way, and sometimes you have to follow it anyway. Happy Wrong Way Day.